Welcome back, guys. This is the GSL Team League playoffs. We have got an interesting situation on our hands. Prime is up 3-1 against StarTale, a result not a lot of people were expecting, but you know, maybe a result a lot of people were thinking would eventually happen for Prime. I mean, Prime was always a team, it was a little bit surprising that they weren't doing better. They have a lot of talent, so maybe this is actually normal. We're going to see here Anyang Prime on the left versus StarTale Squirtle on the right. They are going to play on Taldrim Altar for our 5th game tonight.
Protoss versus Zerg.
Yep, seen a lot of that. We have not seen a Terran yet tonight.
Yeah, I guess we haven't, have we? But, you know, I think the aces for both these teams are going to be Terrans, so
of course.
We're definitely going to see a Terran at some point today, that is for sure.
Squirtles has a rainbow hand. It's changing colors right before our eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, the rainbow hand. It can move at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It can do things no other pro gamer hand can do.
We're going to find out exactly what it can do on Taldrim Altar here in just a moment. Can Squirtle bring it back for StarTale? To at least a 3-2 situation. We're going to find out in just a moment.
And down here at the bottom left part of the map, we have our Zerg player. Won a ZVZ last game, but how will he do against an established player like Squirtle? He is.
Anyang Prime win.
Anyang.
Which means peace.
Yep, that is right. That says something in Korean.
Does it now?
Except in the bottom right, that's in English. Oh, it says, I came here to see Marine King. That's what it is. Up at the top right, thanks, Jay, it is our blue Protoss from StarTale. He's a Pokemon. He's known as... well, he's Squirtle.
He certainly is.
That's right. StarTale was like, Squirtle, I choose you. Oh,
Starting.
wow.
Squirtle.
Delayed reaction to fake me out.
Yeah.
Good display. Good titles micro there. By the production staff. I didn't see that one coming.
Titles metagaming.
That's right. So, over the break, I went to get some coffee, you know, and it's like that instant coffee, so you like get the water from the water cooler.
Oh, I've seen those, yeah.
I always put my coffee packet in first, so I did that. Put my little cup under the water cooler thing, and I only got like a third of a tiny little paper cup of water, so I drank it anyway.
Ugh.
It was like a super strong coffee shot.
I don't even like coffee in the first place. That sounds disgusting.
I feel energized, Moletrap.
I'm glad.
There was no other option. There was no other way.
You could have put in cold water or something.
Are you crazy?
The tap.
Are you insane, man? Coffee is only good if it's ice cold. Like, if there was ice cubes maybe with it, then I would. But, like, tap water, like lukewarm water, it's just bad with coffee.
You could have waited for them to replace the water bottle.
I am a busy man, Moletrap. I have GSL to cast. I can't afford to wait around for water coolers.
I suppose that's true. We do have Metabolic Boost being upgraded now for our Zerg player, Anyang Prime. And he's getting out some Zerglings as well.
Yep. He's going to see what he can do.
Yeah, he does not know where Squirtle is, though, so it's going to be a bit difficult for him to really make use of these early Zerglings.
And in the meantime, as you can see there, we had a Forge Expand from our Protoss player, Squirtle. And he is the type of player to prefer the Forge Expand. I mean, nearly everybody does it on this map, but Squirtle especially is a guy that enjoys trying to do that. He's more of a, if I remember right, it's been a while since we've seen him, but I remember him being kind of more of a macro-oriented Protoss player.
Yeah, he usually likes to do 2-base play, I believe, against Zerg.
Well, that's not very macro-oriented, is it?
Well, I mean, he doesn't like to do 1-base strategies.
Okay.
He goes 2-base into macro.
You know, there was a time when 2-base seemed like a macro-oriented strategy,
It's
but
true.
now it seems like really all in it.
Starcraft is a change, and
yeah, well, the game is evolving along with the players. Complete wall off there, I believe. Should be. Second queen is
I'm pretty sure it is.
going to put a creep tumor in there. They're going to need another one at the other hatchery fairly soon. One hatchery made the phone call to the other one. They're like, send the second queen. And then they did.
Yep. Sent it right over. Very good response times.
Yep.
You know, they should hire out the Zerg to be like delivery people for like pizzas or something like that.
Well, I suppose their response
very,
times are
very
actually
rapid.
like instant because they're all like part of this same like mind thing, you know?
Yeah. And then, you know,
They don't even need to make phone
the
calls.
roach could just put your pizza on its back and go through the Nidus worm. Get to your house in like 3 minutes.
Oh, Stargate coming up for Anyang. So, for Anyang, for Squirtle, it's pretty common to go for Stargate after the Forge expand.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that Squirtle tended to. I mean, I haven't seen him PvZ in a long time, but
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, he likes to do Stargate play.
Playing very defensive too. 3 cannons already. It's an interesting play there. And again, you know, a fast layer from Anyang. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Infestation Pit after that. It seems like it's a trendy thing to do.
Yeah.
All the cool kids are doing it, Moletrap.
Well, we've seen so many players get busted by roaches early on recently that it's pretty smart to get those extra cannons up just in case. You don't want to lose to something silly just because you didn't want to spend 150 more minerals.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Now, man, I have like the strongest taste of coffee in my mouth right now. That was so strong.
That's what
I'm
you
never
eat.
doing
That's
that
what
again.
happens when you eat pure granulated coffee concentrate.
I stirred it enough. I mean, it wasn't like chunky or anything. It's just very thick. There's the Infestation Pit.
2 base infestors again for our Zerg player, so
Everybody loves that. Hey, look, the Overlord's like, I think there's a possibility there might be Stargate tech in the Protoss base.
let me dive into the base and find out.
It's like trying to ram into the Void Ray to take it down. He's like, I got this. Ramming speed.
Ramming speed,
But
set
he's
a
too
collision
slow.
course.
Yep, didn't work.
Nope. And so instead, the Overlord
I was-
popped and exploded, and I guess
I was going to make a joke about the new Star Trek movie, but I didn't want you to get mad.
no. Let's not go there.
Four more gateways coming out right now for Squirtle, so he'll be able to follow this up with some decent gateway play as well. Getting that +1 at the same time. A lot of Protoss players do like to do a either +1 or +2 timing with their gateways after some Stargate harass, making sure they can deny the third possibly. But I don't think that Anyang really has any plans of a third anytime soon. He hasn't even touched the rocks down at his third base location.
No, I mean, if this is going to go along with what we've seen lately from Zerg players, and hold that thought, Void Ray coming in, doing some damage to the drone line.
Oh, whoa, the Void Ray following the drone in there a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's not going to work out too well.
Got it away just in time.
He didn't send his Phoenixes with that Void Ray, but he's going to see the Phoenix, at least one. Yes, he's going to see them. And so now he knows that the Phoenixes are going on as well. Drops out a Changeling to scout the natural as well.
Scared the Changeling out of him.
Yeah.
And there we go. So now he was breaking down the rocks, so we will be taking a third.
Scared the I don't know why it took me a second to get that. Scared the Changeling out of him.
Looks like, too, Squirtle's going to be able to get a pretty quick +1, or +2 rather. He did get the Twilight Council, and he's going to be moving out and doing a bit of a gateway timing. Blink is on the way as well, so Squirtle's just basically getting a lot of the things that you need for those units to be effective against most Zerg compositions.
Yep. And yeah, Anyang just getting those infestors out. He's got the pathogen gland upgrade. He's actually researching Burrow, which is something I'm surprised we don't see more often with this infestor play. Phoenix is trying to pick off a queen. Is he going to get fungal on him? He fungals 3 of them.
Nice fungal on those
Infested
Phoenixes.
Terrans out, but he does get the second fungal.
He needs one more,
Infested
though, I
Terrans
think.
pop out.
Oh, he doesn't catch him. He catches one, but oh well.
Only got 1 or 2 Phoenixes there.
Hard to catch those things sometimes, you know, they're pretty fast.
Well, you got to catch them all
That's right.
if you intend to
Squirtle's trying to catch them all.
defend against the air.
Yep. They're like the battle of card games on these teams. In the GSL today, I guess. Not necessarily on these teams.
Yeah, that'd be great if you had Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Squirtle.
Has that happened? I wonder if that matchup has
I don't
happened yet. Aspire. All right, so things again still proceeding fairly normally for this.
Yeah. Lots of Zerglings out now for Anyang as well. He's got, actually I can check in the unit counting tab, 76 Zerglings on the map. And they're going to be able to do pretty well against fungled Stalkers. Fungal to hold the Stalkers in place. The Zerglings sweep in and do some pretty good damage to him.
That is a scary army, though, for Squirtle. This is a really good timing to move in here. He's got a great composition against what he has.
He can lift some of the Infestors. He lifts the one with no energy, though, so the Fungals do go up. Zerglings surround, but beautiful force fields keep the Zerglings from engaging.
Blinking away, and look at those force fields continuously stopping the Zerglings from doing much damage. Really, really well played by Squirtle. Wow, that was a great engagement for him.
Vested Darrens do take down the Void Ray, but these Phoenixes are still alive and well, and those Infestors don't have any energy left. It's only going to be just those Zerglings.
It's a bit dangerous to move in here. There are not a whole lot of units yet. A lot of Zerglings screaming up, and more Zealots coming to reinforce it with proper Blink Micro. He should be okay, although those units are going to take a lot more damage here. Phoenixes, in the meantime, occupying the Infestors. And yeah, more warp-ins from Squirtle. He wants to end the game right here, and I think he's got a good chance of doing it.
Yes, he does. He's pushing in farther and farther. The Infestors are just sitting there with no energy. They can't do anything about this. He's desperately trying to pump out as many Zerglings as possible here. 32 Zerglings are in production. Are they going to come out in time, though? And are they going to come out at the same time? If they just run in piecemeal, they're all just going to die one at a time.
Reinforcements not being sent in by Squirtle. The Zerglings do get the surround here, and I think Squirtle's going to have to pull back for sure. Yeah,
finally all those Zerglings pop out.
Well, imagine if he had all those Stalkers there. This would be a bit of a different story right now. Now they are coming in with some more Zealots. It looks like he wanted to wait for 2 Warpins possibly before moving in.
Squirtle may not be done yet. Some more Infestors are going to pop out. He realizes that he doesn't have the time to wait for more energy on the old ones. He has to make new ones.
Well, he's got to make this end fast because +2 melee is almost ready to finish here.
Ooh.
Yep, a Fungal and everything prevents the Stalkers from blinking.
Nice, and the Zerglings clean up all the Stalkers.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was going a little bit too far here.
Yeah.
Closer pylon.
When he saw all those Zerglings come out, he should have just said, all right, well, I'm broken now. I'm going to take my wins and go home with it. But he's going to try and take out this third instead.
Yeah. The Infestors don't have a lot of energy right now. Zealots do kill very quickly, but
Fungal.
The pulse around plus the Fungal, wow. This Infestor play that Zergs are doing lately is so hard to deal with in a lot of cases.
Is that... Zealots are going to warp in and save those 2 Stalkers.
Yeah. And, you know, Squirtle's kind of running out of steam here.
Infested Terran. One Infested Terran picks off an entire Phoenix by himself.
Wow.
And now he's actually pushing out with those Infestors and those Zerglings. And is creating 8 Mutalisks to back up this army.
That's going to be pretty deadly.
Nice switch.
Yep. Yep, and now there are some Templar there, but Storm is not researched yet, so they won't be much help against the Mutalisks.
Well, they will be against the Infestors, though. If he can feedback them, they will essentially be neutralized, even if they don't die.
And yeah, he's just going to turn them right into Archons. I was about to say they might actually do better as Archons.
Yeah.
Just because there's not a lot that Infestors have that do well against Archons.
And I'm curious what he's going to do here, if he's going to try and use Fungals, or if he's just going to try and throw down a bunch of Infested Terrans at the front.
Now, Anyang has to be careful not to get ahead of himself here, too. He's in a good position, but you don't want to throw away all your units.
Yeah.
Counterattack. Those Infested Terrans are going to do a decent amount of DPS.
Yeah, they are, and they're all able to pop. There's no Colossus to clean up these mass units. He burrows the Infestors to get them out of the way.
Well done.
And the Infested Terrans and Zerglings can just do their damage and then aren't really a big loss. And the Muta's flying into the main at the same time.
And that is going to cause a huge problem for StarTale. Squirtle, he has absolutely nothing right now to defend except for a few Archons. And with some proper control, there shouldn't be a problem. Some Stalkers being warped in right now, but a lot of probes being taken down.
Squirtle moving across the map with 5 Archons and 3 Zealots as his counterattack.
Yeah, a bit of a scary force right now. There is a Roach Warren on the way. And, you know, Anyang does have to take this seriously, but Squirtle definitely behind at this point. That's a scary army, though.
It certainly is. Yeah, he doesn't really have anything to deal with.
Well, this is a little bit...
with Archons.
This is kind of what I was worried about, where you have to be careful in this situation not to get a little bit too excited to be like, I have to win right now, and then, you know, leave yourself vulnerable to a counterattack like this. Anyang, I think, still might be okay, but it's going to be tough to deal with. A lot of Archons in there.
I think he has just too much of a supply advantage, even though he's got a tech disadvantage, because the Infestors, the Zerglings, the Mutas, none of them can do anything to the 5 Archons when they get balled up there. Yeah, so he's actually just going to sack that third.
this isn't good. I mean, this isn't what you want to happen. You know, I feel like he did get a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, I think so. Stalker's blinking in, trying to take out the Infestors. He fungles and throws down all of his infested Terrans. The Mutas going in are getting slaughtered by the Archons, but he might just have too many Zerglings.
Trying to magic box them, and it looks like it's working here. Yeah, he's got just barely enough.
Anyang Prime just had too many units, and oh, he didn't even finish off the third base. He left it at 90 hit points, and I think that's going to be it for Squirtle.
Yeah, it was a close call, but Anyang was able to hold. He controlled that very, very well. And Squirtle chased all the way home there. And here come the Mutas. Doesn't want to get too clumped up. So he's kind of magic boxing the Archon like you would a Thor, and that worked pretty well.
Yeah.
And that is going to be about it. Ling streaming in, taking down all the Stalkers. Not a lot else to defend right now for StarTale. Squirtle.
Some fancy micro by Squirtle, but it's not going to help enough.
He's going back in the Pokeball,
Squirtle
man.
is going
GG.
back in the Pokeball indeed. GG.
Squirtle faints, and Anyang Prime takes a win.
Wow.
Yeah, you can tell he's really disappointed in himself with that. You know, that type of two-base push, you know, it used to be really effective, but with proper control now, with the fast infestation pit that these Zergs are getting, you know, they can hold it off. You saw him kind of do a little bit of damage, and then he kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah.
At that point, that was about it.
You know what that means, though?
What's that?
That means the laughing stock of the Team League is 1 win away from getting to the semifinals.
Yeah, these guys are 1 win away from getting to go play against TSL. I don't know, do you think StarTale's going to send out Bomber? I feel like they have to. I mean, this is it.
Have to, yeah.
He's
Bomber's
getting ready to go.
He's like he knows it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Yep.
There's no way they can send out anyone but Bomber.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is by far their ace above any other player. You know, Curious they were kind of counting on.
He's even more their ace than Aces.
That's true. He's the aciest. It's true.
He's acier than Ace.
So it's going to be Bomber. I mean, there's no one else they can really send out that is the caliber of player that Bomber is. And, you know, their entire survival is on the line. They lose this game, they are out of the Team League.
Bomber's got to win.
That's right.
4 games in a row.
It all comes down to this. Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be pretty tough. I mean, Prime is up 4-1 right now. Talk about a difficult situation. Man, my liquid bets just not been doing good this season. I know I say that like every cast, but how can you predict this stuff? Everyone, you know, a lot of people out there, they share my pain, Moletrap.
Yep. Well,
it's true.
You have to get lucky to liquid bet because it's the funny thing about like any sports betting. Like, there's always going to be upsets.
There are these random X factors.
There's always going to be random X factors, you know.
People didn't expect Greater to come out and win 2 games. I'm sure StarTale didn't really prepare anyone to play against Anyang Prime, that's for sure. And so far, these 2 guys between them have gotten 4 wins for Prime. And, you know, Bomber, I'd say he's got a pretty good chance against Anyang.
Yep, they are going to be playing on Terminus.
Yeah.
So they've picked a nice big macro-oriented map.
That's right. They want a good long game.
Yeah.
The longer game, the better player will generally triumph.
Yes, indeed. And I wonder who StarTale's going to pick.
I know. It's going to be July again. No. It is Bomber. Yeah. There he is.
Virus was the other guy on the bench, I think, but he must have been there for a certain situation.
Yeah.
And that situation didn't come up. Bomber's there for a certain situation, and that situation is game.
Anyang Prime looks pretty young, too.
What's that?
A lot of young players on Prime. They also have Maru Prime, which is also one of the youngest players in the GSL. But this guy, StarTale Bomber, one of the most solid Terran players ever in the GSL. He's had a little bit of struggle lately, but yeah, look at that record. Like Moletrap says, 23-10 overall, 7-3 in the Team League. This is the definition of an ace.
Look at his headset. He's already in the blue, and he's not even touching the keyboard right now.
He's that good.
That's how fast he is.
He's like, I'm done. I already won, right? It's over.
GG.
There you go. GG. Bomber, he's
Bomber
so good.
sits in the booth and wins a game.
That's all it took.
Who's Prime going to send
Green
out
King's
next?
like, I guess it's my turn now. All right. So, looks like Bomber's not quite ready to go yet. We're going to have to see, what he has planned. Might need to get a couple things with the settings taken care of, but I'm like bouncing around my seat. My leg is like jiggling. That may be because of the coffee that I kind of took as a shot. But either way, I'm pretty pumped about this game, man. This is great. I love the Team League. I'm like so happy whenever I get to cast Team League. You know it. I'm like,
I am.
Before we come to the GOM studio, I'm like, we get to cast Team League today.
It's true. It's true. It's actually true.
I love the Team League.
It didn't help that you just took the instant coffee and just like
I know. I
cut your arm and poured it into your vein.
Yep. Like put it under my eyelids so it absorbs faster. I don't know if that actually works. Someone might have thought of it already. Who knows?
Anyway, so yeah, StarTale Bomber is going to be coming out here. Very, very strong Terran player. Yeah. He's shown a little bit of
unstrongness.
Vulnerability was the word I was going to use in the last season or two. You know, when he first really started destroying everyone, he won Code A outright.
Beat
MVP in the finals. Everyone was like, whoa, this guy is going to be the next champion. And he hasn't quite fulfilled that just yet.
Yeah, he's had some struggles lately. He's been doing some traveling. He went and won an MLG. That takes away from your practice time a little bit.
Okay, he's a champion there. You're right. But I mean, like, he hasn't been winning everything like people kind of thought he would.
Yeah, well, I think people may have, put a little bit more hope in him than they, people like to prop up players like that and really say, this guy's, is he the next Terran Bonjour? I mean, you see those threads all the time. So, this guy's really good. He's easily one of the top 5 Terrans in the GSL now. And, if a guy loses a game or two, for a month, if he doesn't perform well for a month or two, that's not a big deal, really.
Yeah. I mean, he's been running into really strong players, so it's not like he's been getting, taken out of the GSL by newbies or anything.
But this is the real time where you need to take those players and say, all right, now you need to perform. We need you to win this game. His team is counting on him. And, I'd say their faith is pretty well placed. I mean, against a player named Anyang, or not named Anyang, named Anyang too. If his name means peace, you wouldn't think he'd be so violent, but I don't know. Maybe it's sort of ironic.
I don't know either, man. Yeah. Now, Bomber's last game actually in the Team League was against a player named Lucky from FXO, and he actually lost that game. So, Bomber's going to have to bring something out here that he didn't in that game. He's going to have to bring it out and play his A game. Play his Code S game, rather, today.
Yeah, you don't want to play your A game. Your S game is better, I would say. Yep.
Yeah. Now, overall, though, I mean, Bomber's still close to 70% win rate against Zerg in his career. Yeah. So he's definitely got what it takes. We're going to get started here in just a moment.
I can feel those flames on the back of my neck, man. Those are hot.
There they are. Terminus Re is the map. Anyang Prime is the Prime player on the left. StarTale Bomber, formerly NSP Fancy. From the Team Eastro in the Brood War days.
Yep.
It's on the right.
He's a nice guy. We've been out drinking with this guy. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's really cool.
It's fun. Fun to hang out with. Good Terran player.
Very confident player.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't get nervous really at all in these situations. Always performs well. The game is loading, so we are about to move right into it. Anyang Prime versus StarTale Bomber on the new and improved Terminus. The life of StarTale and the GSTL is on the line. Who's going to come out on top? Let's find out.